Good evening. We're back with more Lord of the Rings LCG, and tonight is Escape from Mount Graham on Nightmare difficulty. This is a pretty unique quest. Start out with just one hero, and the others are going to be captured. On the normal mode, one of the captured heroes would go on top of the capture deck. That's the deck on the right. In the Nightmare difficulty, it goes on the bottom, so it adds a little bit of difficulty because you're not guaranteed an early hero release when you make progress on Phase 2. Phase 2 starts out with 7 cards captured underneath it, and we rescue them by making progress on the quest. And Prison Cell, the location in the staging area, is going to start out with 3 cards captured underneath it. And we rescue them by clearing the location or by using the location's planning action, which can add one of the captured cards to your hand, and you have to raise your threat equivalent to that card's cost. The only cards that are not in the captured deck are, well, it's all items, all allies, mounts. So you've got conditions available and a few events, and that's about it. We can use a good harvest to get Unexpected Courage on Elrond here, which is very helpful, and I'll be saving the other good harvest for Steward of Gondor. There's not that many heroes in the game that are good at being the solo hero here. Elrond is pretty good at it due to his ability to pay for allies of any sphere. So I'm going to move to Prison Cell and engage this prison guard enemy. And during the planning phase, I can free the card underneath him at the cost of threat. So I'm going to free 1 card from Prison Cell and 1 card from Prison Guard, and that will cost me 5 threat in the case of Gildor. And in the case of Prison Guard, it will cost me, I think, 10 threat. I'm not 100% sure. It could be that was supposed to be 0 threat, but I paid 10 threat for that one. And the encounter card is going to be another Prison Cell with another card captured from the captured deck. So Beregond's going to be reducing threat when he defends successfully, which is good. And I do have Galadrim's Greeting in hand, which I can pay for using Beregond's spirit resources. So rescuing Beregond early was definitely very good. So we got the good harvest for the second good harvest for Steward of Gondor. So we're going to be generating the resources necessary to actually play the cards that I rescue. And I'm going to rescue Angbor the Fearless here, and I'll get him out immediately so I can quest for 5. And that's going to be a 1 threat card, so I will make enough progress to clear the prison cell. So we're out of location lock danger. And Beregond will defend the attack. I can only do 1 damage to this prison guard per round, but that's okay. He's not a very big threat. Don't have the resources to play Giant Bear, or Gildor. Certainly like to get one of them out. So this is a location that doesn't have a lot of threat, but you really want to get it out of the staging area, or it deals 1 damage to each exhausted character at the end of the combat phase. It does surge into a minor buff for the enemy, which is no problem. So do get to clear the location, rescue the card there, and 1 card from underneath the quest. And we'll go ahead and move to the torture chamber before it can start dealing damage. So, another successful attack defended. It's actually serving a function of keeping my threat down. Now I can get out Giant Bear or Gildor, and I figure I better go Gildor. I may need the willpower faster than I'll need the attack power, though I will need the Giant Bears in order to defeat the boss. I've got 14 hit points and 5 shields. Now that's a terrible card that limits your hand size to 6, so I'm going to cancel that with a test of will. But it will still surge, it only cancels the when revealed effects. So any player may capture any number of random cards from his hand. Each player raises threat by the number of cards. That's going to raise my threat by 6 unless I want to capture the cards in my hand, which I don't really, though you could make a case for capturing like the Heed the Dreams and not having to take as much threat. I probably should have done that. I didn't think about it too much, but I probably should have done that. So we get to rescue a couple of more cards. Move to the location, so we're definitely getting set up. Capture 3 random cards from your hand underneath attacking enemy. I don't bother doing that because I know I'm just going to rescue them right away, since I'll be killing the enemy in just a moment, so that would have just added them right back to my hand. So I don't want to move on too quickly here. I'd like to get out both Giant Bears so that I can have a easier time against the boss. The boss will come out if I move on, so I want to quest lightly enough that I know I'm not going to be moving on. And there is another of those hand limiting effects, and I want to get rid of that one as well. And it surged into this side quest, which is going to capture some cards. I'll want to clear that because it has a rather annoying effect of capturing more cards, which I really never get back. I do rescue a card and make 3 progress, so there's going to be 1 progress left to make on the quest. And I rescue Éowyn, so that's very good. That'll help with the boss quite a bit. And I'll be working on that side quest on the next quest phase. So here I don't have the resources to play much. I can get Ioreth out. And I can pretty much quest for however much I want. I should be able to do enough progress to clear this side quest in 1 round. Yep, no problem. So that location did capture a card, so I have to do a random card from my hand underneath it. And then when you complete the side quest, you only get to keep the items. Everything else gets discarded. And unfortunately, no items and a pretty good ally, Jubayr. Oh well. Let's get out the next Giant Bear, and then we can probably move on to phase 3 here, with 2 Giant Bears and Éowyn out. Pretty good RNG in this playthrough of the quest. In particular, being able to cancel the 2 cards that limit your hand size with Test of Will was a big deal. Getting Beregond early was a big deal, and getting Éowyn relatively early was a big deal. So we're moving on to phase 3 here, which adds the Jailer to the staging area and reveals an encounter card. The Jailer is going to capture any remaining heroes that I have in the capture deck. That's going to bring Frodo from the bottom of the deck. The revealed card is a prison cell. And I can't beat the quest without rescuing all my heroes, so this setup of the quest essentially forces you to defeat the jailer, though if you just stayed in phase 1 indefinitely and cleared locations, you probably could do the quest without beating the jailer. Have to clear the southern gate in order to win, and we can't do that until we make 16 progress on the quest. So gonna engage the jailer optionally, and the prison guard as well. The jailer's gonna make an extra attack whenever we rescue anything. So I don't want to clear the prison guard here before I clear the jailer. He's going to get +2 attack, so he's up to 7. He doesn't kill Beregond, but he does deal 3 damage. And the prison guard's attack is going to exhaust a character I control. Probably should have exhausted Éowyn and healed with Ioreth, but don't know that it matters too much. So here initially I think about killing the prison guard, but then I decide against it. Because I remember that the jailer would make an attack. So I reconsider. Not supposed to know, of course, what the card is under prison guard, but I can't see how that will impact the game at all. So, I decide not to use Éowyn's ability here. I could have added 9 attack power, but it wouldn't have been enough to kill the jailer. Would have been 1 short, unfortunately. So, we'll heal Beregond with Ioreth, and we will get the Gondorian shield on him, so that'll help with the defense a lot. And then I decide I'm going to play Yazan here for the combat power. Just going to quest lightly. That gate location doesn't have any effect on the game while it's in the staging area, which is good. Deal 1 damage to each exhausted character or remove them all from the quest. I'll take the damage. I don't know that I can afford the threat right now. So unfortunately that will cause an immediate attack from the jailer. And that should go on Beregond, so there would be his normal attack on Beregond and then another attack, so that shadow card that's under prison guard should have gone to the jailer for his second attack, and then the prison guard will attack someone else, and I'll realize that in just a moment. Second attack will go on Elrond. I'm going to eventually use Éowyn's ability here to take down the jailer this round. So then I realize what should have happened and I correct it. And now I'm going to use Éowyn's once per game to give her 10 attack total. And with the 2 giant bears, that will be enough. 1 giant bear and 1 Angbor. That'll be enough to take down the jailer and rescue the hero underneath him, which is Frodo. Frodo should come into play right away, so he'd be available for an attack if I needed him, which I don't. So all that's left to do is make the 16 progress on the quest, and then we can move to Southern Gate and clear it. Be using Frodo's questing ability here to keep threat down, and next turn we can play Galadrim's Greeting to drop threat by 6. Figure I'll get out Ghân-buri-Ghân here. I can use it on the for the Southern Gate. Make it easier to clear it next round. be questing for 18. And next round I can play Faramir to quest for even more. I won't need it, but I could. So it's the torture chamber again. And patrol room. So that will make enough progress. Just gotta move to Southern Gate and clear it. Means leaving torture chamber in the staging area and dealing 1 damage to each exhausted character at the end of the combat phase. That's alright, for the sake of completing the quest 1 round earlier. I'll take the damage. It'll kill Arwen, but otherwise it'll be alright. So, this round I'll just get out Faramir, quest to complete the Southern Gate, and that'll end the game. Galadrim's Greeting, just in case there's an encounter card coming that could raise my threat. And I can quest for 26 here. Each player chooses one of his allies and captures it underneath the encounter card with the highest threat. Choose Giant Bear. And then we will make the 8 progress needed to clear the Southern Gate easily. And that will end the game. So a very clean playthrough of this quest owing to, well, of course mistakes were made, but a very smooth, relatively easy playthrough of this quest owing to good RNG. Having Test of Will to cancel the hand limiting card, getting Beregond out of the deck, capture deck early, getting Éowyn out of the capture deck relatively early, made this quest a lot easier than it often is, especially on Nightmare difficulty, and there's not that many heroes that are capable of being the solo hero. Elrond is one of them. And Gandalf is one as well. Alright, thanks for watching.